Hi guys, welcome to Career Launcher. My name is Abhilasha and I'll be taking you through this session for IPMAT and JIPMAT 2027. We are doing idioms and expressions today. So let's get started. So if you can see me and hear me guys, give me a quick yes or no in the chat box. And also remember to hit like, share and subscribe. Okay, so we are doing idioms and expressions. These are the two topics we will cover. So let's take a look at a few idiom questions and quickly get this. Okay, despite losing the first two rounds of the debate, Maya managed to something in the final segment and win the championship. So if you've already lost two rounds and then you end up winning the championship, you have changed the game, haven't you? So therefore, not throw in the towel because that means to accept defeat and that will not be the right answer. Turn the tables is the right answer. Bite the bullet is to, again, accept that you can't do much. Okay. And bark up the wrong tree, of course, means to look for clues in a wrong place. Okay. So therefore, none of these will work. So correct answer, turn the tables. Okay, here's the second question. Guys, at any point of time, if you feel the need to stop the video and watch and think, do it. Okay. The startup's initial product failed miserably, forcing the founders to go back to the starting point and therefore back to the drawing board, which means to replan everything. Around the bush is to avoid something. Okay. Against the grain is something that goes in the wrong way, rubbing the wrong way, and over the moon is to be very, very happy, ecstatic, right? So the correct answer will be back to the drawing board. All right, here's a third question. So when the CEO asked for a volunteer to lead the high-risk project, Raghav something and raised his hand despite his lack of experience. So if you're doing something despite your lack of experience, you're taking the bull by the horns. You're just accepting the challenge and getting on with it. Okay. Spill the beans, of course, means to reveal the secret. Okay. And let the cat out of the bag is also revealing the secret. Hit the nail on the head is to be right on target. Okay. So therefore, none of these will work. The only correct answer is to take the bull by the horns. Okay. So let's go to the next question. That's question number 4. Negotiations between the two tech giants have reached an impasse. An impasse means a status quo. That means the things are not moving forward or backward. So everything is just at a standstill. Okay. So now if everything is at a standstill and neither side is willing to give any ground will be the correct answer. Give any ground is to just sort of let the other party take some advantage. Break the ice is to start a conversation and therefore that won't work as an answer for us. Burn the midnight oil is to work very hard late at night. So that again doesn't work. Add fuel to the fire is to exacerbate or worsen something and therefore that also doesn't work. Let me write the spelling of exacerbate. Remember, exacerbate means to worsen something. So the correct answer will be give any ground. All right, here's the next question. Don't worry about mastering the entire trading software on your first day. Chill. Just focus on learning the ropes first. Learning the ropes means learn where it begins, okay? Cutting corners is to do things quickly and cheaply in order to save money and not in a good way, okay? So do things quickly to save money, but that will end up, giving you big problems. Keeping your chin up is to be brave and hitting the sack is to go to sleep. So the correct answer, learning the ropes. Question number 6. The investigative journalist realized she was something when her primary source turned out to be a fabricated alias. So she was chasing a wild goose. So to be on a wild goose chase means essentially to be doing something Absolutely useless, right? So if someone is on a wild goose chase, they're looking for something that you will never find. It's a foolish or hopeless search. Burning bridges is to end all relationships with someone. So that, of course, if you're at the end of a job, you're quitting jobs, then that's what you do. You burn your bridges or you don't burn your bridges. If you fight with your boss and leave, then you've burnt your bridges. Hitting someone below the belt is to do something immoral. Okay. And stealing someone's thunder is when somebody else is supposed to be is supposed to be famous or well known, and you sort of steal that. That's stealing someone's thunder. So correct answer, chasing a wild goose. It's easy to criticize the government's economic policies from the comfort of your home. But remember, whenever you see but yet, however, there's a twist in the tale or a change in the tone. So keep that in mind. So when he says it is easy to criticize the government, you know you should not do it. So it amounts to nothing more than front seat quarterbacking, armchair quarterbacking, backseat quarterbacking on Monday morning. See, on Monday morning, there are no games. So if you're doing the quarterbacking on Monday morning, just wasting your time. So therefore, Monday morning quarterbacking will be the correct answer. Question number 8. The sudden hike in crude oil prices proved to be the something for the struggling airline, forcing it to file for bankruptcy. Silver lining, guys, is something beneficial. Okay, so that cannot be my answer. A blessing in disguise is also something beneficial, right? So that also cannot be my answer, because if the company is forced to file for bankruptcy, it's not happening. So it's the last straw. Okay, see, now the idiom is a straw in the camel's back, or the last straw. What this means essentially is the final problem in a series of problems. So therefore that sort of makes you just say, all right, I'm done. Okay, that's the last straw, the final problem in a series of problems. A drop in the ocean is a very small quantity. While the rest of the team panicked over the sudden drop in quarterly revenue, the director remained. Now look at this while again, but yet, however, while, whereas, although, even though, in spite of, despite are all contrasting conjunctions. So if the first idea is positive, the second is going to be negative. So if the team panicked here, the director should not panic. So he is as cool as a cucumber. Like a fish out of water would be very awkward. Hot under the collar is flustered or upset or anxious. And on cloud 9, of course, means very happy. So, guys, the correct answer will be cool as a cucumber. All right, let's look at the next one. The company tried to save face by firing the mid-level managers. But, again, you've got a but. Everyone knew he was just a scapegoat for the executive systemic failure. So he was the one who's accused of something that he has not done. A dark horse is an unexpected winner, guys. So therefore, that doesn't work as an answer for us. Wolf in sheep's clothing is someone who looks innocent, but is actually not, so very deceptive. And sacred cow, of course, is something that's very valuable, right? So no. So the correct answer is scapegoat. All right, here are 10 sentences where there is an option that will correctly define or substitute the underlying idiom or expression. So find that. The new regulations for foreign direct investment are still up in the air. Up in the air means undecided. So therefore, B will be the correct answer. Reaching a consensus. Consensus means an agreement. During the board meeting was tough, but we finally managed to see eye to eye. Eye to eye means to agree. Okay, don't see eye to eye, disagree. The CFO's presentation on the company's financial health really hit home. Hit home means felt deeply, was fully understood and felt deeply. You shouldn't take his comments personally. He just speaks off the cuff. Off the cuff means without any preparation, what we call impromptu. Okay, unprepared. The legal team advised the firm to keep their cards close to their chest. When you keep your cards close to your chest, you're actually not revealing anything. So, to maintain absolute secrecy is the correct answer. Her brilliant performance in the mock trial showed that she is a chip of the old block, just like her mother, who's a senior advocate. So, very similar in character to one's parents is the correct answer. Trying to convince the traditional board of directors to invest in cryptocurrency is like flogging a dead horse. Now, if you beat a horse that's dead, is it going to walk up and move? No. Is it going to help you carry anything? No. So you're essentially wasting time on a lost cause. The entire product development team had to face the music after the software update crashed the entire network, so accept the unpleasant consequences of their actions. I want to buy the premium variant of the sedan, but it costs an arm and a leg. It's very expensive, so therefore answer will be D. Rohan won the tournament by the skin of his teeth, by just a tiny margin. So by a very narrow margin or barely. All right, that brings us to the end of today's session, guys. Remember to hit like, subscribe, and share this session with a friend if you really like it. Enroll at Career Launcher, guys. The number is 8130038836. Do remember to hit the like button. All right, that's it from me. Remember, every Monday, same time, same place, we are doing IPMAT and JIPMAT preparation for IPMAT and JIPMAT 2027. All you need to do is join us every Monday, same time, same place. I will see you there. Thank you, guys. See you. Bye-bye. I'll see you next week.